around all the time. But then, she didn't live with him, at least not anymore. Besides, he had his wife Dorothy and 3 little kids to worry about. Gus just had too much time on his hands. Rebecca shook her head and, realizing her hair was about to tumble about her face, unpinned it, finger-combed the thick mass, and twisted it into a coil to repin at the base of her skull. Was she really being selfish, as he'd said many times before, or was keeping a dream alive important? Maybe she would ask the girls after church, or perhaps Gerald would have time to talk. It was a good thing she had friends, because it might be a week before Gus spoke to her after this round. If only the wind would quit shrieking around the eaves and sneaking through the tiniest cracks to freeze everything it touched. Her mother had said that when the wind got the better of her, she would get herself into the Word of God, because only God could order the wind about. The Bible didn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to Rebecca, at least not like it had to her mother. The more she thought of what Gus had said, the madder she got. Did he think she was lazy? After all, he was the one for whom she'd been cooking and cleaning and washing, doing all the things that women usually do for husbands and children. Before she graduated last spring, she went to school and still managed to plant a full-sized garden. Her Moore and Farr would have been disappointed with the spring house cleaning, however. Overbearing. That fit her brother. She stared at the table, seeing Gus. It wouldn't take too long for him to be married, even if he didn't seem to notice how the girls looked at him. He'd turned into one handsome young man, broad of shoulder, hovering right about 6 feet tall, with hair that nearly matched hers, a warm brown that glinted bits of fire when the sun hit it just right. Their mother had said the cleft in his chin was the fingerprint of an angel, put there when he was born. He was 2 years older than she, and didn't get his full growth until the last few years, so some folks had thought they were twins when they were younger, a comment that always made their mother laugh. Agnes said she knew for a fact she'd never carried 2 babies at a time and thanked God for not sending them that blessing. Best she get to the duties for that day. They were out of bread. Rebecca had the bread dough rising on the warming oven when Gus returned. "You've gone and ripped the knees out of those pants," she huffed a sigh. The mending pile was growing again, almost as if clothes were breeding in the basket. He looked down at his pants, shrugged, and shook his head. "Can't help it. Maybe next time you can put double patches on 'em right from the beginning." Amazing. He was talking to her. "You'd better marry some girl who loves to patch and mend, that's for sure." After their parents' death, the 2 of them had stayed at the family home with their older brother Knut. Since the eldest, Sven, was already married to Dorothy, the couple helped as substitute parents. But life took another turn for the worse when Sven was killed by a bull, leaving a pregnant wife. Dorothy named the baby boy Sven after his father, and nearly 2 years later, Knut married his sister-in-law. When Gus and Rebecca grew old enough to manage on their own, they moved back into their parents' farmhouse. Gus stared at her until she put a hand to her hair to see if it was falling out of the rat she'd wound it around that morning. Wearing her hair in a poof in front made her look older. At least she thought so. "What now?" She knew her voice still sounded sharp, but he had started the battle. "Nothing. I'm going out to work in the machine shed with Knut. If I can't fix that piece, I'm going to take it into Sam. He said he thought he could make a new part." "Couldn't you just order it?" She thought of the catalog she'd been daydreaming over, which was what had set him off in the first place. Only instead of machinery parts, this catalog had round tables with black iron pedestals, chairs with heart-shaped wire backs, and best of all, pictures of soda dispensers and refrigerated display cases. How she loved that word, display. A place where she would show off her flavors of ice cream in the summer and scoop it out for everyone to enjoy. No matter what some people seemed to think, Blessing really needed